join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, welcome back to Viewers Pulse after Hajj. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, it's a great honor and a great pleasure to be with you here this evening. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this next hour, inshallah, an hour in the scale of our good deeds. And to recap together, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, in this next hour, what Hooded TV did during Hajj. As you know, Viewers Pulse is the program where we talk about what happens behind the scenes here at Hooded TV. And we update you about some of the things that maybe you've missed because, you know, alhamdulillah, we're a 24-hour live channel. Most of the time we have at least one or two live programs a day. So there's a lot you can miss out on if you know, you went on a holiday, or maybe you were at Hajj. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the Hajj from all of our brothers and sisters who were there. Maybe some of you are still in Mecca or Medina right now. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala return you back safely to your homes. Let me remind you of the great ways you can get in touch with us. First of all, our phone numbers. And the numbers should be on the screen momentarily, inshallah, for you. So feel free, inshallah, at any time, right now in the next hour, to give us a call and share with us your thoughts about our Hajj coverage. How was the Hajj coverage for you? How did you think the Hajj coverage for Hooded TV was this year? Inshallah, feel free to give us a call and share your thoughts with us at any time, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Another great way to stay in touch with us is through our email, pulse@huda.tv, pulse@huda.tv. That is another great way to stay in touch with us at any time, inshallah. Feel free to stay in touch with us and join us, inshallah ta'ala. Our Facebook page is, of course, I would say the number way to stay up to date about what's happening here at Huda TV, and that is facebook.com/Huda TV, facebook.com/Huda TV. Inshallah, feel free, inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, to join us on Facebook and to be with us at any time, inshallah. There, I believe, alhamdulillah, I mean, we're approaching the 150,000 mark. So that would be great, inshallah, if you can join us as well, if you haven't already. And if you have, share it with all your friends. Twitter is also another great way to stay in touch with us. Our Twitter account has been recently reactivated. Twitter.com/Huda TV channel. This is our official Twitter account. Feel free, inshallah, to join us at any time on our Twitter page, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And finally, definitely last but definitely not least, is our YouTube page. Our YouTube page is youtube.com/Huda TV, youtube.com/Huda TV. You can go on there, watch some of our latest programs in case you've missed any of them. You can also go watch some of our archives and some of our older programming that has been airing for the past 7 or 8 years. And you can definitely, as well, my dear brothers and sisters, go ahead, inshallah, and share with us, you know, watch Huda TV live through our online live streaming. youtube.com/Huda TV is the way to do that, inshallah. My dear brothers and sisters, it's a great pleasure and a great honor to be back with you after Hajj. And alhamdulillah, I mean, Hajj season is always something of great importance and of great value here for Huda TV. Why? Because we not only share with you live pictures from Hajj, but we try to make sense of what is happening for a Western audience. For people who are watching our channel who may not be Muslims, who may be living in some of the Islamic countries or the Muslim countries, and they're not Muslims, and they're wondering what's up. They're wondering what's up, with these people, and why they're wearing all white and everything like that, and what are they doing? We try to make sense out of it and explain the reasons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed us to perform Hajj, and the benefits of Hajj, and the great value that people can gain from Hajj. Also for our Muslim brothers and sisters, we can definitely get a lot of value by watching Huda TV during the Hajj season, because you get to see what the Hujjaj are doing. You also yourself get to learn a lot about Hajj in case in the future, inshallah, you're going. And of course, our brothers and sisters, we have heard those who were at Hajj were obviously not a lot, but were watching us sometimes as well in order to get the latest updates and maybe to see themselves on TV. Who knows, inshallah. So inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, we hope that our coverage was of benefit for you. It's definitely a whole lot of work. Of course, the day of Arafah, for example, the 9th day of Dhul Hijjah, we were with you. I believe that was this past Monday. Yeah, we were with you all the way from about 5 a.m. with our voiceovers, and we had live pictures and voiceover. And then I came in about 9 a.m. or 9:30. We were a little bit late on that day because of some technical issues. And then I stayed till about 1 or 2 o'clock, and then Brother Malik picked up from there from 2 p.m. And I believe he didn't end the day till about 10 p.m. MashaAllah. So you're looking at coverage that started after Fajr, not only ended after Isha, but ended at about 10 p.m. A very long day, and this was for us who are on the screen. Imagine the brothers who are working behind the screen, the cameramen, the electricity, people, the people who are in charge of lighting, the directors. We had many directors that day, obviously, because it's a long day. The producers who are working behind the scenes, everyone who's working hard in order to get this coverage going. And this, of course, is not to say that there wasn't a lot of work done from Mecca and Medina themselves or from the surrounding areas. As you know, for at least 4 nights during the Hajj season, we were live with you from Mina. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Let's go ahead, inshallah, and take this first call for the night. Brother Ali, assalamu alaikum. Brother Ali, assalamu alaikum. Looks like the line was cut off, inshallah. Try to give us a call back, inshallah, Brother Ali. As I was saying, my dear brothers and sisters, it is a very, very tough work schedule for many of us. And I'm not talking this way in order to brag about Huda TV. I'm just simply relying to you what we do. I mean, imagine our crew was there live in Mina in order to have the live broadcast, so that broadcast from there, so that we can share the experiences. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I believe the first episode that we aired from Mina, which I believe was on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, where we had Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, we had Sheikh Muhammad Salah, and Sheikh Muhammad Faqih, has been watched on YouTube by more than 1,000 people, which is a good number for online viewing, especially that our YouTube page is still growing. And obviously it's been watched by a whole lot more, inshallah, on television. So you actually get to see how the situation is on the ground. Let's go ahead and take Brother Ali. He's back with us. Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, brother? Where are you calling us from? Brother Ali, where are you calling us from?
I am very fine. I'm calling you from Guinea Conakry.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Pleasure to have you with us, brother. It's beautiful to have you with us. Did you watch the Huda TV coverage during Hajj?
Always I can watch it. Always I can watch it every day and night throughout.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. What did you feel this Hajj season? Did you feel that you were connected with the Hujjaj who were there? Did you feel that you gained some lessons after watching the broadcast on Huda TV?
Of course, on 2011 I went for Hajj.
MashaAllah, in 2011.
And I was very happy. Yes.
And how did it feel when you were watching Hajj in 2013 on Huda TV?
I've been watching it every day and I'm enjoying it. and I wish all of you good luck.
Ameen ya Rabb. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you so much, Brother Ali. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. You know, it's so beautiful, my dear brothers and sisters, to see that, a brother is calling us all the way from Guinea, mashallah, and he's saying that he's enjoying the programming. It's an absolute blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that this is an international channel that goes to people from all around the world. Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we will start recapping the coverage that we did during Hajj. In case you missed some of it, we watched some clips from the different days of the Hajj coverage that extended all the way from the 7th of Dhul Hijjah and all the way until the 12th of Dhul Hijjah. See you after the break, inshallah.
فلا وربك لا يؤمنون حتى يحكموك فيما شجر بينهم ثم لا يجدوا في أنفسهم حرجا مما قضيت ويسلموا تسليما. There are 3 levels. Sister Rayhan from Bahrain.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Fahim from Sweden. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, barakallah feek Fahim. May Allah bless you and your family.
Sheikh, I have one question.
Now, that is not allowed. Why isn't allowed? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man ghasha falaysa minna." He who deceives or betrays does not belong to us. He is not one of us. A person who is given the sadaqah or leading the prayer does not have necessarily to be praying fard. Maybe he is praying the nafl that is after the prayer, the 2 sunnah after dhuhr or after maghrib or after isha. And the follower, the imam, will be praying with the intention of offering the fard that he has missed. Okay, barakallahu feek.
Reading the Quran is a blessing. Understanding its translation is beautiful. But diving in depth and extracting pearls from it is simply amazing. Do they not ponder upon the Quran? Every week, inshallah, we will dig deep and reflect on the verses of the Quran one by one.
Quran in Depth with Sheikh Ibrahim Zaidan, only on Huda TV. Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters, after this short break. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, glad to be with you here as always. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Maybe you saw this new promo that we were just airing right now. This is a new promo for our program Quran in Depth. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. It's a beautiful blessing to have Sheikh Ibrahim Zaidan with us and to be continuing on this very long but very interesting journey of how Muslims should learn about the Quran and understand the meanings of the Quran bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, as we said during our Hajj coverage this year, we started on the 7th day of Dhul Hijjah, which was really the night before brothers and sisters put on their ihram and started their Hajj journey, which technically begins on the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah, a day known as the day of Tarwiyah. And on the 7th night, we had a whole lot of great things we talked for about 2 hours. If you remember, I began the episode by saying that I was supposed to be at Hajj this year, and I was supposed to be covering the Hajj live, but some things happened, and I didn't go, and I had a message that I shared for all those who wanted to go to Hajj this year, but something prevented them, that inshallah have hope, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you, and you'll go in future years, inshallah. Let's go ahead and take this phone call from Brother Ahmed from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hey, brother.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. How you doing, Brother Ahmed?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
I have just some points. I'm alhamdulillah for a long time, I'm all the time. Huda TV is 24 hours in my home.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
It's a blessing.
And there's things يعني maybe I can see it, nobody else can see it, or
Yeah.
like if you have like to don't waste the time of the program, you can put a sign, so the people can see it. Please mute your TV, so you don't waste your time.
Definitely. Yeah.
And second, when is there somebody taking care of YouTube for the programs that it's recorded there? That if somebody want to download,
Yeah. Well, we just hired a brother. His name is actually also Brother Ahmed, like you. We hired him about a month ago, and I'm not sure if you've noticed any difference maybe in the past month or so, because before we had a lot of lag time when it came to uploading our recent programs. But I feel that in the past month or so things have been improving. What do you think?
Inshallah, I hope so. Now I'm recording most of the programs from Islam House.
MashaAllah.
Because it's I can, because inshallah I'm traveling to the States, so I'm downloading the most I can download in my hard drive, so I can take it there to
Beautiful.
to show people there, because the most of we go inshallah to help people to know real Islam,
Bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And also, brother, do you know our official page, our official YouTube page?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, youtube.com/HudaTV, and you can watch it, of course, live 24 hours through there also.
That's what I'm gonna watch you there from there, and then stream, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Second,
Yes.
third, sorry.
Yeah.
If you can put, if there is a live program, can you put the date of the program?
The days of the program. What do you mean by that?
Okay. For example, now I'm watching Ask Huda, okay, and it's live. And there's certain things, it's very important to me to make people know these answers, or to know, you know what I mean?
Yes. Are you talking about the repeat times?
I mean so when I go to download the program, I know the date, because Ask Huda is Dr. Muhammad Salah most of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know which one I want to download. So if I have the date, I will know. Yeah, it was
actually,
for example, the 1st of this month.
Yeah. Actually, you know what, Brother Muhammad, this is how it's categorized on our YouTube page. Like if you go right now after we are done talking, and you go to our YouTube page and search for Ask Huda, you'll see Ask Huda and then the date. And so that way you're able to to get the points that you're looking for. So it is done that way.
خير إن شاء الله. جزاكم الله خير وربنا يعينكم يا رب.
بارك الله فيك.
And I want to thank everybody working in Huda. Inshallah.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Bless you guys.
Ameen ya Rabb. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you in your journey to the US and return you back safely to your home country, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan, Brother Ahmed. Thank you so much. Brother Ahmed had a lot of great comments. He said, it's great suggestions. See, this is what I love about this program. You guys call us in and you share with us things that we may not be seeing behind the scenes here. And don't worry if you feel that you're criticizing us. That's okay. That's totally okay. None of us is perfect, and we're all one family. So I wouldn't be mad, if my brother or my sister or my father or my mother or my son or my daughter, tells me about something that I'm doing wrong. And the same situation applies to Huda TV. We will never be mad as long as it's constructive criticism and your goal is to help the Quran and the Sunnah and to help Islam, then why not? Feel free to give us a call and share with us your thoughts, things we may be doing right, things we may be doing wrong. Let me tell you some of the comments that Brother Muhammad said. He first said that we should have a sign on the screen during our live programs that says, please mute your TV. And he's absolutely right. This is the most thing that all of us, keep repeating when someone calls and, they forget to mute their television. Let me explain why someone would need to mute their television when they're calling in to a live program. Basically, here's the situation. You call us, there's a signal that gets sent, and there's a signal that gets sent out. That takes about, it depends, but it takes about 3 to 6 seconds. So there's this delay of approximately 5 seconds. You can say on average a 5-second delay. So I would talk, and then If you're not hearing me from the telephone, if you're hearing me from the TV, it takes about 5 more seconds. So that wastes time on the program, and it makes the program idle, and it doesn't sound too good. And of course, there's also the feedback, the voice feedback that comes, and that could also, mess up the viewer, because you're hearing me twice. Instead of hearing me once, you're hearing me, and then you're hearing me again 5 seconds later. So please do mute your television whenever you call into our programs, inshallah. And at the same time, we will, inshallah, I will pass on this request to the management so that we can put something on the screen as well, inshallah. Brother Ahmed also talked about our recorded programs, where he can find them. And as we said, our official YouTube channel, it's definitely been more up to date since Brother Ahmed Sawabi has been here on board and on the team. And believe me, this is the way to go. If we're not going to focus on social media and multimedia and online programming, then obviously Huda TV is going to, instead of going up, it's going to go down. Why? Because this is not only the future. Social media is not only the future. Online media is not only the future. It's the present. It's what's happening today, and inshallah, it's only going to grow in the future. And as I also told you, brothers and sisters, we are working behind the scenes very hard on producing an application for Huda TV. So if you have suggestions about what things you'd like to see included on the Huda TV app as well, feel free, inshallah, to give us a call and share your thoughts with us. Like I said, I'm still waiting for you guys to give us a call and share with me your thoughts about our Hajj coverage this year. What are some of the things that you saw during this Hajj coverage that you liked? What are some of the things that you'd like to see done better next year? I'll be waiting for your phone calls. And meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look from a report on the 7th of Dhul Hijjah. This was a phone call that I did with Sheikh Zainuddin Johnson, who was speaking to us from Turkey about some of the values and some of the benefits and some of the lessons that can be learned from Hajj.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. Verily the believers are a brotherhood. A brotherhood. And this brotherhood, my brothers and sisters, is not built on passports or nationalities or flags or anything like this. But this brotherhood is built on the words, La ilaha illallah, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, and Muhammadan Rasulullah. But not only the words, but also the belief that there is no other deity of worship except for Allah, and also the actions that bring us closer to taqwa, closer to the God-fearance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we look at all of the pillars, the 5 pillars of Islam, we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in those 5 pillars, it is always leading us to strengthen the brotherhood, the unity of the believers. If we look at the prayer, we see that the believers, the men will pray in the mosque 5 times a day. 5 times a day that we gather together. And this strengthens the unity, the brotherhood of Islam. If we look at zakat, we see that it will strengthen the gap between rich and poor. You find the jealousy and the problems that you find in communism and other things, that in Islam it is eradicated and it is eradicated through zakat. It strengthens the brotherhood. That a rich man, there will always be rich and poor in the world, always. But here in Islam, that it will strengthen that unity through the zakah. If we look at fasting, of course, fasting, as we know, strengthens the unity as we're fasting together, praying together, and of course, Hajj. If not the greatest strengthening of unity, the greatest sign of unity. We see that people from all around the world, people, different colors, different languages, they even look different, yet we all make it to this one place this one place, and the reason that we make it there is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us to strengthen that unity and to make it that in this worldly life outside of Hajj, that we may wear expensive shoes or drive expensive cars. But when we're at Hajj, when we're on the Hajj, we're all wearing the same. There is no five-star ihram, that we're all wearing the same color, the same clothes, the same thing, that we are equal in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, except for that of taqwa, except for our deeds.
Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters. This was a clip from the 7th of Dhul Hijjah, and Shaykh Zain, mashallah, sharing some very beautiful words on the meanings behind Hajj and the lessons that we can learn from Hajj. In case you missed our coverage on that night, that was a short clip that can be of benefit, inshallah. Also, while we were in this report, Brother Ahmed, the one who called us before, we watched the clip. He had something to say, also to add. He says he's specialized in IT and he's willing to help. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Please do send us an email at pulse@huda.tv and we'll get you in touch with the appropriate people here at Huda TV, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Jazakumullah khairan. My dear brothers and sisters, our coverage did not only stop on the 7th of Dhul Hijjah, it extended on a very important day, a day called the Day of Tarwiyah, which was on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us also to be live on that night with Brother Malik Evanglatos, as they were able to talk with each other, him and Brother Abdul Salam, about some great meanings, especially of people who came to Islam, even maybe though they were Muslims, but all of us have a story with Islam, because there was a day when we were off the straight path, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide all of us, and guide all of us who think they're not guided yet. The fact that you're watching an Islamic television channel when you could be watching anything else is in itself a form of guidance. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our coverage from the 8th day of Dhul Hijjah. This is a short clip with Brother Malik Evanglatos.
Alhamdulillah for the blessing of Islam. I was born Muslim. My mother and my father accepted Islam before I was born.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing. It's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, that's
but I didn't appreciate it, honestly. Astaghfirullah. I didn't appreciate it. I mean, I grew up, see my father wudu and,
Right.
my mother telling me about Islam. This is the way it is.
Yeah.
Until I got older, yeah. And then I realized, life is sometimes can, be difficult. And when it gets difficult, what do? We turn to Allah. We don't have anything but Allah. It reminded me of that. Yeah.
But brother, I ask you that because many times when I tell people I reverted to Islam, and the program is about Hajj. We'll get to Hajj briefly, inshallah. But I just want to share this with you. They say, oh, mashallah, that's great. You revert to Islam. And that is great. But I say every Muslim, every human being has a turning point in his life, whether he's born Muslim or not. So at some point he has to say, okay, I'm going to constantly make this decision to be a practicing Muslim.
Yeah.
So at what point did that happen for you?
Well, I'm going to share with you now. My mother passed away. And,
may Allah have mercy on her.
Yeah, may Allah have mercy on her. In 1995. And before then, I always believed in Allah. We fasted on Ramadan and stuff. But it was like, whatever. I'm a Muslim, whatever. But I needed two things. One, I needed something. I needed some comfort. And I realized you can't find it anywhere but from Allah. In that salah, when you're praying and you're thinking about Allah, and Allah will give you comfort. More comfort. Allah, He loves us more than our mothers. Also, I realized that this life must come to an end.
Right.
This life, we don't live forever.
Yeah.
And we go our term and we finish our term. And then we return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it made me think seriously about, what do I want to do with my life? How do I want my heart and my soul to be when I return to Allah?
Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters. So that was a very interesting clip, Brother Abdul Salam, talking about a turning point in his life. And Hajj in itself is a turning point in many people's lives because it's really a training camp for the heart, a training camp for the mind, where you get to have some time, to reflect on what you should be doing as a Muslim while you're living in this life and what your goals in this life should be. Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, in this next segment, inshallah, we have a very important clip for you from another day from our coverage. Sheikh Hatem and Brother Malik were talking about sacrificing haram things. Sacrifice, of course, is a great lesson that we learned during Hajj, and we do it physically by sacrificing an animal, but also spiritually by understanding that we should be sacrificing many of the bad things that we do in our lives, many of the haram actions that we do in our lives. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that after we come back from a short break. I'll also be waiting for your phone calls. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You're not giving it to him because he has black eyes or blue eyes. You're giving it to him because of his position. And that is why you're giving it to this particular department's head rather than giving it to the HR GM, for example. Nobody gives the HR GM anything because they don't want anything from him until they want a job. Therefore, this is the way you can judge whether it's a bribe or not. To get into a halal transaction, first of all, the bank or the financial institution should acquire and own this apartment before any commitment.
Welcome to Tech Talk. I'm your host, Omar Shear. This season of Tech Talk, we will focus specifically on the internet.
A student would type their paper, and instead of handing me a hard copy of their paper, they would upload it to this learning system, this e-learning system.
I have some great experience when it comes to technology, and in particular, internet technology. Call to action is something that we do in our day-to-day lives, and maybe we don't realize it. Now we want to discuss, after you have a product and you have a website and you have a way to communicate with your customers, which would be your email marketing system, now it's time to take the money from the customer.
Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters, to our final segment here this evening on Viewers Pulse. Thank you so much for continuing to be with us, inshallah. Our phone numbers are on the screen, inshallah, or should be on there momentarily. Feel free to give us a call. Actually, the brothers in the control room told me that we've been receiving quite a bit of phone calls, but it looks like some of them were cut off. Keep trying, inshallah, and eventually you'll get through. Inshallah, I'll be waiting for your calls. To be honest with you, this is the most fun part of this program, is to hear from you, hear your suggestions, hear your thoughts, hear what you think about Huda TV, whether it's positive or negative, whatever it may be. As I said, we're one family, and we're here to go together, inshallah, and to grow together, inshallah, and to help the Muslim Ummah become better, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, in this segment we have some more clips for you from the day of Arafah and the days that came after that. So we covered the 7th, we covered the 8th, and now we're talking about the 9th. Sheikh Hatem al-Hajj, obviously one of the great scholars here at Huda TV, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him, was talking about sacrificing. On Hajj we sacrifice an animal, but that is only symbolic in part. Of course, it is not only symbolic, because we do sacrifice the animal, we eat from the animal, and we give to the poor. But there's a greater meaning behind it and beyond that, is that we're sacrificing the haram in our lives. So let's go ahead and take a look at his discussion with Brother Malik Evangelatos on the day of Arafah. It was during the night time of the 9th day of the Hijjah. Let's take a look.
If you look at the pillars of Islam, the 5 pillars of Islam, they include things that, statements and actions. They include bodily acts of worship, financial ones, and they include also abstentions, such as Siyam, for instance.
Yes.
Is in Siyam, you exhibit or you manifest that worship of abstention, to refrain from that you desire for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes.
So in Siyam you refrain from what? You refrain from food which is permissible. You refrain from conjugal relations with your own spouse, which is permissible. And it's amazing that some people, after they finish their day of Siyam, they break their fast on like smoking or something that is impermissible. So if Allah is asking you to refrain sometimes from that which is permissible for His own sake, then you're, it is...
defeats the purpose. It's weird. I can understand it.
To finish the end of your day of fasting from that which is permissible and that which is impermissible. So to refrain from the impermissible is part of our deen. It is part of the definition of ibadah. العبادة كل ما يحبه الله ويرضاه من الأقوال والأفعال والتروك الظاهرة والباطنة. Al-ibadah is everything that Allah desires. These are the manifestations of ibadah. This is the external dimension of ibadah, because we say the internal dimension of ibadah is تمام الحب مع تمام الذل والخضوع, which is complete love and adoration mixed with complete submission or complete obedience and subjugation. So that is the internal dimension of ibadah. The external dimension of ibadah is everything, is compliance with everything that Allah likes of statements, actions, and abstentions. Exterior and interior, by the body and the heart. So you abstain from prejudice, you abstain from pride, you abstain from self-deceit, you abstain from self-conceit, you abstain from showing off by the heart, you abstain from aggression, you abstain from dhulm, oppression by the body, you abstain from consuming that which is haram, you abstain from pursuing that which is haram, you abstain from walking to that which is haram, and taking that which is haram. Abstention is an integral part of our worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and hopefully we will sacrifice all of those things that Allah dislikes and Allah prohibited us from for His sake.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward Dr. Hatim al-Hajj for his great insight. And I love the way he speaks. He has this calm way of relaying the information. MashaAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him, inshaAllah. Obviously, on another very important clip that we wanted to share on Huda TV during the coverage of Hajj is something related to children and to kids. We didn't want anybody to be left out. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is one of the biggest areas that we're lacking on here at Huda TV. And there are many reasons for that. And many reasons, inshallah, we can talk about them in detail in a future episode, or maybe you can suggest some solutions as well, inshallah. But we're definitely lacking on the area of kids, children's programming. And this is something that I believe is very, very important in order to build a correct Muslim child or Muslim youth, who's not influenced by all the other bad things that they see on television. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us and make us better in this aspect, inshallah, here at Huda TV, and make things easy for us. But we do have this report from something that we did for the children, where we brought in a puppet with our dear brother, Brother Mustafa Moore, and they had a little discussion about throwing the stones at the Jamarat. Let's go ahead and take a look.
we throw the stones in the Hajj time?
Yes, we throw the stones in the Hajj time as a symbol of what, when Ibrahim alayhi salam, after Allah gave him the vision to sacrifice his child, the shaitan, the devil, he tried to whistle. He tried to whisper in his ear, hey, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Killing your son. You can't kill your son. He's your only son. How could you kill your son? But, alhamdulillah, Ibrahim alayhi salam knew that Allah Azza wa Jal, He's in control of it all. So if Allah says be and it was, then, He can do it,
Yeah.
So if he killed him and maybe Allah wanted to bring him back to life or any way that Allah said to do, He can do it. He's Allah Azza wa Jal.
Yeah, like the tawakkal ala Allah.
Yes, tawakkul.
Tawakkal ala Allah. Tawakkal ala Allah. It's a nasheed that I was listening to earlier.
Oh.
Put your trust in Allah. Put your trust in Allah.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Subhanallah. Yeah, so we put our trust in Allah, and as long as we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us and we's from Allah, we do it. And we try. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us?
Yes, Allah will help us. All right, so, but we throw the stones because this is what Ibrahim did. When the shaitan was whispering in his ear, he threw one stone.
Allahu Akbar.
And the shaitan, he went away, but he didn't go completely away, so he threw another stone.
Allahu Akbar.
And he did this 7 times until the shaitan was completely out of sight.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes,
so come on, I'm going to pick up some stones now. Let's throw them.
No. Didn't we say you can't throw stones?
Yeah, but I'm going to throw them at the shaitan, right?
No, you can only do this. In Hajj.
Oh, I get it. You have to follow the way of the Prophet.
Alayhi salatu wasalam.
Alayhi salatu wasalam.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to be sure to do that because sometimes I act bad, So I'm going to throw the stones to shaitan. Yeah, this is a good idea. Okay, so let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go throw some stones at the shaitan.
No, it's a special time. It's a special time.
Oh, yeah, like you said before. Okay, I understand.
Amazing, mashallah, beautiful. You can see me smiling. It's because it's the first time that I watched this clip, actually. And it's beautiful, mashallah. It's great to see some things happening here at Huda TV for our dear young viewers, our children, who are definitely the hope of the future. And really the generation, inshallah, that will carry the Muslim Ummah to great new heights, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward the brothers who worked behind the scenes on making this happen, because it's definitely not something that is easy. One of the other clips that we had during our Hajj coverage was a clip from our dear brother Medic, Ivan Klatos. He was talking with brother Laith, and they were discussing, of course, a very important story that's related to Hajj. And this is the story of Prophet Ibrahim, and how this relates to obedience, the concept of obedience, how Ibrahim a.s. obeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how his son Ismail obeyed him as well. How important is obedience? Let's go ahead and take a look at this clip.
Story of Sayyidina Ibrahim a.s. and his son only really took a great impact on me when I really had true iman. First you have to be sure that the story is 100% true. Once you have that iman in your heart and you know this really happened, as if you're watching it in front of you, that's when you start to feel it. But once it's just one of those stories, you can just put it in the collection of stories that you just don't want to think about. You know what I mean? You just put it aside.
Yeah.
But when you think of it as a true story, then you make tadabbur, you ponder upon the story, and you start to think of, a son, how valuable. I really don't know how valuable a son is to his father. But I could imagine that a son is to his father as my father is to me, for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My father is very valuable to me.
Yeah.
SubhanAllah.
Great analogy, brother.
Yeah. Sacrificing your son for the sake of Allah subhanAllah, or attempting to do so for the sake of Allah, and having that blind iman in Allah Azza wa Jal is beyond human, subhanAllah.
Yeah,
Like Sayyidina Ibrahim is beyond human. وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. I think the ayah says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took Sayyidina Ibrahim as a friend, or something close to a friend. I don't know the exact translation. But Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam has a huge status in Islam, a huge status.
Yeah, subhanAllah.
The father of Muslims.
You know, and brother, you know what, I even after I became Muslim, I thought about this story, and I thought, like, I can't really understand it. It sounds strange to slaughter your own son. And then when I had my first son, your feeling is you will slaughter someone else to protect your son. Then I had my second son, and I realized, wow, that's a huge command from Allah. Now you see what it means, like, oh my God, I love my kids so much. How could I do that? But Allah told me to do it, I have to do it. It's like a big thing, you know? It's huge, yeah.
And besides what Sayyidina Ibrahim ﷺ did, what his son did was also a huge thing. قَالَ يَا أَبَتِ فَعَلْ مَا تُؤْمَرْ سَتَجِدُنِي إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مِنَ الصَّابِرِينَ. Oh Father, do what you have been told. You will find me of the patient ones, inshallah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
SubhanAllah, my father is telling me that I'm going to slaughter you. Okay, your faith is for you. You can do whatever you want, but you're coming to slaughter me.
Yeah.
I have to have faith now for that, you know what I mean? And subhanAllah, he accepted it, and with the coolest heart, subhanAllah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That was another clip, my dear brothers and sisters, from our programming during Hajj this past year. I'm waiting for your calls, inshallah, in the remaining few minutes. I know some of you have been trying to call in, but the lines haven't been helping too much. Feel free to try again, inshallah, and keep trying, and inshallah, eventually your call will get through. Not your fault, but your call, inshallah, will get through. Hopefully your call won't fall, and it will get through to us, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Feel free to give us a call at any time, and share with me your thoughts about our Hajj coverage this past year. What did you think? I mean this past Hajj season, did you think that Huda TV did a good job? Did you feel that you benefited from our Hajj coverage? How can we improve? How can we make it better so that, inshallah, next year we'll have even better Hajj coverage for you, inshallah. I'll be waiting for your calls after we take a look at this last clip that we have here this evening. This was a clip that was aired, I believe, on the third day of Eid, and Sheikh Muhammad Shabir was talking about it, about some of the lessons in this, was talking about some of the lessons that a Muslim should learn, not only during Hajj, but what should he bring back home after he's been to Hajj. What should he bring back home to himself and to his community and to his masjid as well, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, whether he lives in the east or the west. Let's take a look.
Hajj is one of the lessons for Muslims when you're together is to pick up all the hopefully good things from all the different cultures from all over the world. People all come from all corners of the world with one intention, and that is to have their sins wiped off and hopefully go back like a newborn baby.
Yeah.
And I think that what they shouldn't forget is when they go back that they are a newborn baby and they are a fresh start. So whatever they should look and look at their life previously, and whatever issues and problems they have, if they haven't cleared them and they haven't changed, then they really haven't achieved much. So it's very important that when people go back, people see a visual change in these people. And that will not just affect them, it will affect the society around them. I think it's very important that when you go back, it gives you time, 4, 6 weeks, whatever it takes you, to leave your home and go to Hajj and then go back.
Yes.
That time is time of reflection. It's time on your own, and you really think that, what is it that not been right with me? And how can I affect the community, the society that I left and I'm going back to?
Yeah.
It's very important that you take some positive lessons from Hajj, and in that time, 4, 6 weeks, you make a plan that when you're going to go back, inshallah, you will change yourself and you will help others change as well.
Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah feek. That was a clip from the third day of Eid, and alhamdulillah, we've had many clips here this evening. We're getting ready to end the episode, inshallah. If we don't get a call from you in the next minute or so, if you have something to say, feel free to give us a call in about the next 30 seconds or so, inshallah, as we wrap up this episode here this evening. We've went through a lot. We've featured about 6 different clips, my dear brothers and sisters, from our Hajj coverage in the year 1434, 1,434 years after the hijrah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the year 2013. Inshallah, my dear brothers and sisters, we are about in the next few days, inshallah, to welcome a new Islamic year, the year 1435. We hope, inshallah, here at Huda TV to be bringing you some special live coverage on the first day of Muharram, or the first day of the new Islamic year, inshallah, in a very special nightly coverage, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We'll let you know more about it once I find out more, and once we plan for it here at Huda TV, I'll definitely give you the scoop and give you the latest news, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Thank you so much for being with us here this evening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of you for sticking with us here for the past hour, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the entire Muslim Ummah. Until we meet again, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, next week on the same day, Monday, inshallah, at 9 p.m. Mecca time. Take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your